Even cavemen needed a break. Welcome to the Stone Age's first all-inclusive resort. In the time when fire was still a new and exciting discovery, and the idea of a weekend off was as foreign as the concept of sliced bread, prehistoric humans had a simple yet profound desire: to rest. But rest, as we understand it today, wasn't quite so simple back then. The idea of a relaxing vacation, especially one on a all-inclusive basis, was so alien it might as well have come from the future, or at least from a neighboring tribe with questionable taste in leisure. The story begins with a tribe called the Grunks. Known for their relentless hunting schedules, grumbling elders, and an impressive collection of rocks that no one really knew what to do with. For the Grunks, downtime meant two things: sitting next to a fire and complaining about the flies. However, one visionary named Zog grew tired of the endless routine of hunt, eat, fight, sleep, and wanted something more: a real break, a real holiday. But how to do that when the nearest resort was a muddy patch beside the river? Zog, inspired by watching birds laze on the branches and a curious cloud drifting lazily in the sky, came up with a radical idea. What if the tribe had a place to go where everything was taken care of, where he didn't have to chase mammoths, gather berries, or fend off saber-toothed cats? A place where he could just be. Of course, the Grunks had no word for all-inclusive, so they settled on everything brought, nothing taken. Thus began the creation of the first prehistoric resort, located near a convenient spring, shaded by large trees, and equipped with the bare essentials: plenty of flat rocks to sit on, a fire pit that never quite went out, and a few thorn bushes for privacy. The catch? Everything had to be sourced by the tribe itself. The all-inclusive part mostly meant that everyone had to contribute and then wait their turn to relax. The first guest arrived after a particularly brutal hunt, dragging sore limbs and bruised egos. Zog greeted them with a grin and a crude sign: a carved mammoth surrounded by smaller carvings of berries and bones, the tribe's version of welcome. The resort offered an array of amenities never seen before: rock massages, a fun way of sitting on carefully chosen stones, leaf wraps, think ancient spa treatments, but with more dirt, and a drink bar consisting of water from the spring served in hollowed-out gourds. The most popular activity was fire watching, which required intense concentration not to fall asleep or get too close to the flames. Guests soon realized, however, that the everything included part was less relaxing than expected. To maintain the fire pit, someone had to constantly add wood. To keep the water fresh, another had to chase away curious fish. And if the buffet ran low on berries or meat, the whole group was out hunting again. No exceptions. Despite these challenges, the Grunks embraced their new holiday spot. Stories spread to neighboring tribes about this magical place where you could rest your bones and tell your stories without getting eaten. Some even tried to replicate the concept, though their resorts often ended abruptly when saber-toothed cat crashed the party. Zog, sensing an opportunity, began organizing vacation packages, a mix of hunting trips with planned rest stops. He charged in mammoth meat and promised 0 spear throwing required, which was a massive selling point. The highlight of the resort was the weekly story night, where tired hunters would sit around the fire and exaggerate the exploits. These tales often grew taller with each telling, serving as entertainment and unintentionally a marketing strategy for future visits. As the resort grew, so did the tribe's appreciation for rest. It became clear that downtime was as important as the hunt, and that even the hardest working cavemen needed a break. The concept of all-inclusive might have been rudimentary, but it was effective. The Grunks discovered that sometimes the best way to survive was to stop surviving for a little while. In the end, the resort wasn't just a place, it was a revolution. A statement that even in the harshest times, laughter, rest, and a little bit of fun were vital. And while the Grunks might never have had tropical drinks with tiny umbrellas or massages with scented oils, they did have each other, a fire that never quite went out, and the first taste of what it meant to truly relax.